Today in VR, there's not much news, so as we get closer and closer to the Quest 3, in the next couple of episodes, we're going to look back on the Quest 2. Now, last week we had a half-year review. This week we go through all of the updates and pick out the few most important ones, because the Quest 2, software-wise, definitely has changed a lot from when it was first released. So, for example, we didn't even have 90 Hz when it was first released. And hand tracking was abysmal when it was first released. And now it's at a stage where the Quest 3 can have ringless controllers. You know, that's how good the hand tracking is. So we go through and pick out our favorite updates and also a couple corrections. I say Let's Talk Oculus 97 is definitely episode 98. And our 100th episode is only 2 weeks away, where we will be live streaming, and I'll be announcing the time and date of that live stream real soon. All right, let's talk Oculus. Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus episode 97. I'm your host, as always, Dan from Playtest VR, and I'm joined by the eagle-eyed Samson. How you doing?
I am doing well. Got in some good VR multiplayer. Got in some little bit of flat gaming.
Just a little.
How are you? Yeah, just a little. About 2 hours.
Nice. Yeah, not too bad. I actually also got into some VR gaming. You'll be surprised to hear.
Man.
So buckle up. This is going to be a solid episode. It's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun topic to go through later. But before we get into anything in the podcast, just remember to join our Discord. We have over 140 members, and we are getting closer and closer to episode 100. In fact, we are 3 weeks away. So for people who are kind of more new to the podcast, you can ask questions at letstalkoculus@gmail.com. All of the links will be in the description below. And you can also ask questions on our Discord questions channel. How fitting as well. Get in there, ask some questions for episode 100, even some personal questions like what kind of color socks I wear. That's absolutely fine. We'll get into it in episode 100. Samson's like, what are you talking about?
Do you only wear one color of sock?
Mostly, yeah.
It's wild.
Mostly. Exactly. Find out in episode 100. Also, for episode 100, we will be live streaming it on the Sunday the 20th of, I was about to say October, but August. TBA for the time. We're not too sure about the time yet, so we will announce that closer to the time when we will live stream. But definitely join us for that to celebrate episode 100. All right.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
All right, Samson. What is this VRing you speak of this week? What have you been playing?
All right. Well, I got into some synth riders on Sunday night. We filled the room. A whopping 10 people in 10 that room at one time for a couple songs. Yeah.
Nice.
I also almost came in second place a couple times.
Well, did you finish first every time?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. How's your high score? Have you been doing any more leaderboard chasing in the last week?
Not really. It's gonna take a lot for me to move up from 34 in Master with like special things on, because
with all the modifiers.
Yeah, I think my average rank is like 44 or so, and the next person up, their average rank is 34 or something like that. So I have to jump so many ranks in so many songs, to move up.
Fair enough.
But mostly on these Sundays, we've been playing hard and or expert, and sometimes normal. So now I've been accruing some of those before. I have very few high scores on those tracks, but now I'm getting them.
A question here. When you play mostly on more of a master kind of level as the master you are at Synth Riders, when you go and play normal and come back to master, does it make master very hard? Like, is it the big speed difference? Does it? Does it mess with you?
Not really. They're all the patterns just build on themselves. So
Okay.
on master, you're just doing all the full pattern, and on the other ones, it's just broken down
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough.
mostly.
Very good. Very good. I've went back into Compound. I bought that game a couple weeks ago. I spoke about it a couple weeks ago. Um, there was a comment actually. I forgot to write it down, so I'm sorry whoever said it. But on that episode, I spoke about Compound. They said they recommend going into easy level first. I didn't take that advice. I've been still trying, busting my ass off on medium. I don't know. I really find the medium satisfying, but I really maybe should just try easy. But I mean, Samson looks like he's getting it
It
pulled up.
was immersed robot.
Immersed Robot who gave the comment. I should try easy. I definitely should try easy. But I've got past. So last time I described that you start off in like some sort of like Doom-esque or Wolfenstein-esque kind of environment. After 2 levels, you change to a different environment. You get to this like mansion, or this like big building. I couldn't get past that, and now I finally got past this, and you get into it's like a parking garage in a way, like if you're outside and you've got all these like roller doors for like trucks to come in and such. But you have to find a vaccine is what I realized is the part of the game here. And the enemy types just keep getting better and better and ridiculously hard. So now I have this like robotic spider who takes a ton of bullets to try and defeat, because there's like a shield
Are you
around it.
upgrading things as
Not
you
really. Like
die?
you are getting better guns and such, but I'm not gonna lie. I keep sticking with the pistol. I really like the pistol. I really like how it feels. There's
Well,
two
that's why you're
different.
not doing damage.
That's true. I just love the pistol. There's 2 different types of pistols. There's one like normal, like normal pistol. Think of it like a Star Wars blaster, and that's the one I use. And that might be true. That might be true. But then you've got that spider thing that once the
Your favorite.
shield. Yeah, I mean it's like a robotic 3-legged kind of thing, but a spider is the easiest description, because it kind of walks like that. But once
It's
you
a
get
tripod, and you're describing it
as
like
a
it's got
spider,
more than double the legs. Yeah.
pretty much, pretty much. But if it gets close to you, the shield goes down and it starts to jump at you. It's a bullet sponge, but when you defeat it, sometimes there are some good stuff that it drops. But then you've got a drone, which is you've got 3 different types of drones now. One which is like a pistol drone, second is like a machine gun drone, and the third now is a bomb drone. So it comes at you and it just tries to run into you to like bomb, and they're difficult. Like when you shoot them, they just get back, and you just got to keep shooting them so they go back and back, and then they just blow up. That's difficult. Then you've got the more robot enemies, so like just like the human esque kind of enemies, and they've just got upgraded guns. So you've got one which is just a bullet splatter. Like as soon as you press the gun, there's bullets everywhere. They splat everywhere, and you
Can
kind
you
of just
pick up their guns?
you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't pick up their guns. Otherwise, that'd be great, because I haven't found the bullet splatter gun yet. I've had a shotgun. I've had a
You
grenade
gotta
launcher.
gotta explore more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's procedurally generated, so I just gotta keep jumping in and out. But I got really far this time, but I just haven't got past this garage thing on the second level, because the health, you just don't know when you're gonna get health. Like you have like, I think 4 hits and you're dead, or 3 hits and you're dead. But sometimes the enemies drop hot dogs or soda pop.
Yummy.
Yeah, and when the enemies drop that, and amazing, you grab that. But sometimes they just don't drop because it's all procedurally generated. So you don't know when it's going to drop, and therefore one run might be easier than the other run, and then one run might be harder than the last run that you do.
Can you
Uh,
save it mid run?
I don't think so. You might be able to. There's like when after each level you have to go to the elevator and it takes you to the next stage. There is a like a lever next to the elevator which says continue, and I've not tried it. I don't know if that means you can come back to it if you tried it, but I'll try that next time.
Yeah, pull that lever.
Yeah, pull that lever. What else have you been playing?
I got into Hyperdash Friday night.
Mm.
It is so fast paced, but what a drastic change from Breachers,
Yeah.
because we got into Breachers immediately afterwards, and it felt good. Honestly, both felt good. Hyperdash is so fast.
Yeah.
I did all right. I think I went 50 and 43 in one of the matches. So
What does
it's
what does that even mean? 1543.
50 kills, 43
Oh,
deaths.
okay, got it, got it. Is that someone who doesn't play Hyperdash? I was very
Yeah. No, it's a FPS thing, it's a KD.
yeah, that's fair enough. It's been a while since I've done like Call of Duty and all those like type of team deathmatch and such, and getting those kills. So I don't know.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's every Friday.
Um, I go on. Do you have?
You got into anything else?
Yeah, I was about to say I tried Move Fast, which is the hand tracking game that Meta
Nice.
put out. I just wanted to test it out, and it is really good.
How'd you move? Do you have
Fast,
the update?
yeah, yeah.
You
So
do have it? You do
yeah,
got 56? What
yeah.
the
So that's
fuck,
why I wanted
man?
to, because like Move Fast comes onto your library immediately, when you have the update. So it was just there already downloaded. So I just jumped in, and you look so angry.
Yeah, every day I've been looking for it. Mostly I wanted the Facebook streaming, but I also want the hand tracking.
Yeah, fair enough. It works really well. So for those who don't know, Move Fast is just like a testing app that Meta have put out. It's on the App Lab, but when you download the update, it should already be in your library. And if you have enabled automatic downloads and such, it should already be downloaded as well, which is really nice to see, and see that kind of automatic updates work for a start. But essentially, it's a game that's like something like FitXR, where you've got the targets moving at you, and there's 3 different movement types you can punch. So different types of punches like jabs, hooks, uppercuts, and then you've also got the karate chop. So there'll be like a clear plank of wood that comes at you, and you have to chop. So you have to put your hand in a straight motion, and then you've also got palm. So you essentially hit the pad with your palm. So you open your hand and palm it. So and then you also got block as well. So you got 4 different type of movement types and 4 different ways your hands will be, and I was thinking maybe the block would cause it to be problematic because I get right close to my quest, but no, it's been absolutely fine. I don't know if it's more like it knows, once you got your hands close, that means you're
Where
probably
else could you be? Yeah.
exactly, where else could you be? But it's really good, and there's like 5 different um exercises, i.e. like 5 different music
Songs,
tracks.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
five different songs. The first 2 are like easy, second 2 are intermediate, and then you got one which is like super fast, high BPM, hard, and it's like you can tell if it's hard or easy from the star rating. I did the easy, and it was nice. It was like just fairly easy movements, and they're coming at you at like a decent pace, but nothing too crazy. Then I went straight into the extreme one, the hard one. And you're like literally chopping it up, bang, 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 bang. And I actually did pretty decently in it, and it was really impressive. It really did. There was a couple niggles, more when I was switching from punch to hand, but very, very rarely. And it was just very impressive to see the hand tracking work so
Is there
well.
a leaderboard?
I don't think so. You can compare your old scores and such. Like you can go on it and it says how many times you've tried it, what's your current score, what's your best score, kind of thing. But I don't know. I didn't remember a leaderboard globally. It's just for yourself. But that's moved fast. So once you have the update, you'll have access to it. And I know you still don't look very well, Samson, there with the lack of update.
No, I think I can download it though.
Yeah. Okay, get it downloaded. Try some Move Fast. It makes me excited for the fitness apps, like FedXR, Supernatural, what they can do. Because in the latest update of V56, I'm not sure if we mentioned this. I don't know if we missed out on this, but because of hand tracking 2.2, it has 75% latency reduction for fast movement, but it also has this new fast motion mode, which improves the hand tracking in fitness and rhythm apps. So I don't know if it's like a screen refresh rate where it's variable and it can increase when it needs to increase and such. And it's the same as that, where like the CPU kicks in even more when it comes to fast motion mode, just for those specific apps, and then reduces it for normal movements and such. But it gets me excited because you don't really need controllers for any of those fitness apps, to be honest. Well, you shouldn't really need your controllers. And
Right.
it'll also be nice to put down your expensive Quest Pro controllers or something like that to do these fitness apps, and and keep your hands free
Yeah,
without
I'm
holding
not.
the
I'm
controller.
not too interested. Um, I don't
In
like the fitness apps.
you know, well, but hold on, there's fast motion mode in rhythm apps too, and I think you like some rhythm apps.
Yeah, but I like. I don't. I don't know that you can get the precision for
Yeah,
scoring.
that's true. And the thing is with rhythm apps, why this is not as important, to be honest, is just because apps like Synth Riders and Beat Saber, it's nice to get that feedback when you're holding. So that's one thing. But for fitness apps, phenomenal. It's gonna be
Oh,
great. Gone.
Dan, I forgot to say. In Hyperdash, I played with my B haptics on.
Oh yeah, how was that?
That was great. It was really great. There's
Yeah,
rails you grind on. It's so good. It's so good.
like up the belly, you just get all that
Yeah, yeah.
feedback.
The front and back,
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's
same
cool.
time.
Yeah. What else have you been playing? Or if you've been playing anything else?
Well, the end of camp, we played some takelings again. Good
Mm-hmm.
time. Once again. The kids were better at it this time. There were a lot more kills.
Yeah.
Then I got back into Neodori Infinity, unlocked a few more cars. It's getting a little more challenging, but still just as fun.
Fair enough.
Um, then I got into some VR chat. I did the Magic Heist, which is a 15 to 20 minute Disney ride, pretty
Oh,
much. And it is so freaking cool.
that,
Highly recommend to anybody.
is that on
Uh,
Steam or is it on App Lab? Oh no, it's VR chat, so it'll be available.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember if it was a Quest allowed world or not.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't remember,
Fair enough.
but I think it might have been. But very fun though, very
Yeah.
fun. Highly
Nice.
recommend. Beautiful. And then I did a balls visualizer, which is like a music visualizer. We're a bunch of
Okay.
balls out there and they're bouncing around.
Roger
Uh,
that. Sorry, my
yeah,
mind went completely elsewhere. My apologies. I'm just a child.
no worries, no worries. And then I played a game of chess with DMAX.
Nice. Who won?
DMAX ran out of time,
Oh,
so
okay.
I won by
Forfeit.
default there.
D-Max forfeit. Yeah. Knock down the king. Fair enough. I've also been in. I only did this today, to be fair. But I also jumped into the Oculus TV because I haven't been in there for a minute, and I still don't like how they've organized it because it's just like a big list. There's a couple of like playlists that you can go into, like concerts and such, and then you can see all the different types of concerts. But it's still organized in a way that's not that accessible, to be honest.
Did you watch anything?
I did. First of all, I went through some of the concerts, and because I remember going into like the Charlie XCX and such back in the day when they were out, because they were like one of the first concerts that were in the Quest 2 at least, done by Tidal, and they were very blurry. You could kind of see it, but you couldn't see it. And, it didn't really look good. Then I looked at some more updated Tidal ones, and they were better, but still not amazing. Like there was one, I don't know what the band was called, but it was in a garage. So it was like you were in their garage and they had like a jam session. And that was pretty nice to watch because you
So
felt
you
you were
feel
right
like
there.
you're in the garage.
Yeah. In a way, in a way, I feel like they still need to work better on the placement of the camera. Sometimes it's a bit too close to the subject. Um, yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
watching really, really close,
Samsung's gone really
awkwardly
fun
close.
for the audio listeners who can't really hear him right now. um, yeah, a little bit too close. Like it'd be nice if it was just a bit back, but they're still working on it. Better than the old title ones, but still not the crispest. But then I went to a Meta one, which was with iHeartRadio, and they had Macklemore or Macklemore, as the guy said in there, which I didn't realize is how you say it, or maybe you said it completely wrong. That was crisp. That was really crisp. That was really good.
Some high def.
Some high def. It was still it's still not perfect because it was a decent. You were right in front of the subject, but it was okay. I could deal with that. But as soon as you move your head to the right or move your head to the left, it can give you like a bit of motion sickness, and it did give me some motion sickness. And when he was like running up and down the stage, there was like some blurriness, so it wasn't like the cameras were obviously not the best in terms of the refresh rate, I guess, in terms of capturing that. And then they had 3 different angles, and 2 of the angles were on the sides, and they weren't as good as the angle right in the front, which was kind of noticeable. So not perfect, but and I also think the Quest 2 is still a little bit too bulky and hot. I don't know if it's because of the heat right now, but it is still too bulky for me to really enjoy and sit down and watch. Maybe the Quest 3 will be better being close to my face. But yeah, that was a concert, but I did some more. There was a YouTube channel called Tasty, I want to say. But there was a baker in there, and she makes like gigantic dessert items. So she had like a massive chocolate cake and made a huge whatever. The problem with that is that video quality was clear as day, like clear as watching a good maybe 1080p YouTube, but the camera was kind of fish-eyed a little bit as you would watch it, and it would give you a headache. And the weird thing about it is that how you can click the menu button and the menu will overlay, and you can kind of go to later on in the video and such. When you click the button to overlay the menu whilst it's still playing in the background, it kind of pushes the camera or pulls the camera back a little bit. And all of a sudden, it's so much nicer to watch. It's just like you have a menu in your face now, and it's like, let's just go back to that, because you are in a.
You can't change your perspective, though.
You can't change it. No, you can't change it. So when you turn off the menu, it goes back to that slightly zoomed fisheye part, and it gives you a headache. It hurts your eyes and such. So we're not there yet. We're not there yet with some of these immersive stuff, like the Solo documentary that we've talked about many episodes ago and such, are like really well done and beautifully shot and good to watch. But some of the stuff like these cooking shows and some of the concerts still, they need some work. They still need some work. Maybe there's just not enough development going behind them. They kind of put the camera in the front, film it, and then trim it or whatever and put it up. I don't know if they do anything, but they need to improve the user experience a bit more, especially if they're going to push it. But yeah, that's what I also tried.
Nice.
Yeah, and I noticed there's also an animation app, which I haven't downloaded yet, but there's like animations that you can watch in VR. But when you click on it, there's like a Spider-Verse one. And when I click on it, you have to download the animation, the VR virtual reality animation app to watch them. I haven't done that. I'll do that another time. But there's a bunch of different VR animations in there as well, which is interesting. Not like a manga or anything like that, but just some casual animation. If that makes sense.
Very cool. Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing? That's everything from me.
Just a little flat gaming. That's about it.
Just a bit of flat gaming. We can maybe come to that right at the end. Just a couple of news stories before we get into part 2 with our topic of the show. Really quick, I Expect You to Die 3 has just got a release date of August 17th. For those of you who have been waiting for that for a while, because it said summer for a long time, we finally got a release date. I still haven't finished the first one, I'm not going to lie, so I won't be picking this up.
Yeah. I will not be expected to die anytime soon.
No, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are hyped about this. And then second news story, UFC Zone is coming to Horizon Worlds in November. Doesn't state whether this is going to be US only. Most likely it is. With a lot of these like sports. It's like region only, which is a bit of a shame, but it makes sense. UFC Zone, what that is that you can go in and select matches or select UFC events you'll be able to watch in Horizon Worlds, which is going to be really cool. And actually, this reminds me, in Oculus TV, there's a couple UFC apps. I think it's called
Mm-hmm.
UFC X or something like that. I can't remember what it is. It's more of an introduction of what UFC is. They show like some training camps. They show some. It's like 20-minute episodes. There's two of them. There's behind the scenes stuff. They're all shot perfectly. Like you can
That
watch
makes
that in
sense.
VR, no problem. Sit down, chill out, popcorn in. The only bottleneck is your Quest 2 being a little bit too heavy or uncomfortable, depending on your setup. That's it. But the video quality is great. So I have full expectations that UFC Zone is going to be really good.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll be like a UFC on demand type of deal.
yeah. So I think we've got NBA and MLB in the States, and now we have UFC coming, which I'm assuming is just the States, but does not say. In the UK, you've got Sky Sports, where you can watch the football, i.e., soccer for the American people out there, which actually works pretty good. I've tried it when I was back in the UK, and it's cool because you can sit in the stadium and you can also change angles and such. And the stadium view and watching the players play is really cool. It's not perfect quality or anything like that, but it's like really cool. But then in front of you, you've got a perfect quality screen of the TV feed. So it's kind of nice that you can watch the TV feed, but also look down and kind of watch it like you're in the stands. So like it's like you're in a box kind of thing in the stadium. So
That's
I
sweet.
still not the volume where I would watch all my football in there, but
I mean, Apple owns the MLS, so the TV rights, the broadcasting rights, that is.
yeah, they
So
also own some of the MLB rights too, for like Friday night and such. I think Apple are really going to push for that. I think they're going to push for the NFL as well, and such, and that's going to be really cool for the Vision Pro. But any of that UFC excite you? You're a UFC watcher or not?
not particularly. I did watch some fights the other night.
Mm,
The guy, I believe the guy, he won pretty quickly, from what I remember.
fair enough. I haven't. I sometimes watch UFC. I sometimes don't.
Spoilers.
I'm pretty sure people who are listening to this who are into UFC have probably already seen it. But no, I'm into the fake wrestling at the moment. The fake stuff is
Yes, yes,
very
yes.
entertaining.
It's more storybookish.
Exactly. All right, that will do for part one. In part two, we'll get into our topic of the show, discussing the most important updates to the Quest 2, or for the Quest 2's life cycle. So we'll see you then.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part two, a topic of the show, the most important updates of the Quest 2. So, as we wind down, the Quest 2 is not going to die anytime soon. In fact, it's going to be absolutely fine for another year or two at least. But as we get closer to the Quest 3, it's nice to look back on the Quest 2 and see where we've come. And in last week's show, we went through all of the major news stories and the major developments of 2023, given our half-year review of the Quest 2. Now let's go back even further, to day one of the Quest 2. And when you bought the Quest 2 on day one, it's very different to what the Quest 2 is now in terms of software. So what we've done is we've gone through every single update, from V20, whatever it was. I can't even write that down, to V56, which is the one that Samsung still hasn't got, but came out.
25.
25 was the first one for Quest 2. Nice. It's funny
Well, that's the first one you can go to on the website here.
when I was going on the website on Meta's blog, it's funny because you can see stuff like Oculus Go and PC, and then they just disappear, and then Quest Pro comes in. It's kind of fun to see. So what we won't go through every single update, obviously, because that would be insane. There's been like 25 or 30, but what we've done is we've gone through and we've picked out some notable updates.
I got some things I want to talk about, you know?
Yeah, notable updates. Samson, do you want to start off with one of your first notable updates that we got?
Let me take y'all back to a different time. A time much more pandemic-y. In February of 2021.
Nice.
When they added the pass-through shortcut. And let me tell you, Dan, I use this every time I use my Quest pretty much. By accident and on purpose.
Go on.
The double tap. Boom. I'm in pass-through.
The double tap wasn't around from day one. For some reason, I use that all the time too.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Quote, we're moving our pass-through shortcut from the experimental panel to general availability. This feature will allow you to activate your pass-through view by double tapping the side of your Quest or Quest 2 headset. So it wasn't experimental before that.
Sure. But it was like, it was live. I mean, the thing is with experimental, for us, it's like, okay, it feels like it's been around forever. But to be honest, most people, or I would think so, most people who use their VR headset don't even go through the experimental, don't want to touch that, don't want to mess with the settings. So, no, I think what I've wrote on my list, and I actually forgot to do that and I actually put when the experimental ones will be in there. But you're right, though, it's big for people who wouldn't really dive into that. And I use that all the time as well. Use that all the time. Very useful. Very good. Do you have any other ones before my first one?
When's your first one?
April 19th, 2021. V28.
No, I don't.
So my first one is we've got Oculus Link, the Air Link that came out, which was quite big because I at the time actually I had a PC kind of set up, with my Mac, and I was using the cable, and I actually never tried this personally, but I know you do this all the time with Airlink, and we had virtual desktop, which was the one that everyone would use to connect to your PC without a cable and a wire and such. And then we got Oculus Airlink, which kind of came out with some controversy with virtual desktop.
Because they blocked the app.
Yeah, because they blocked the virtual desktop for being on the store. And then they released their own app. It was like some shady stuff. It was like stuff that Apple may pull out, on their app store and such. But that came out, and it's something that people use every day. I mean, you use it all the time, right? Or are you using virtual desktop, or do you kind of go back and forth?
I go back and forth. I know Jenna out there uses VD.
Nice. And also on this update on V28, back in April 2021, we had the 128 hertz support, albeit this was in experimental mode. But the Quest 2 came out with 72 hertz, I believe. And
I don't think many games take advantage of it, though.
Of 120 hertz, no. But the crazy thing is actually there's some updates that we haven't put in here before it, because on the blog it doesn't say it anymore. But I pretty much remember that 90 hertz wasn't at launch. And
I don't think so. Yeah.
No, and it started off with 72 hertz, which was 72 hertz. I'm pretty sure that's it, right? And that was the same as the Quest 1. And then, like a couple months later, 90 hertz finally came in.
Super hot.
Yeah.
Ragged Fury, 11 Table Tennis, Echo VR, RIP, Gorn, Synth Riders, Cubism, Beat Saber, Blast On, Until You Fall, Pop 1, Hyperdash, and then Down the Rabbit Hole, and Virtual Desktop.
Oh, what, use 120 hertz? That's fair enough. But yeah, the biggest news story here though is that 90 hertz wasn't available, and 90 hertz is what almost every, if not all, apps use nowadays, and it did make a massive difference. at the time. Right now, it's hard to see that difference because we're so used to it now. But it did make out a massive difference, and the Quest 3 will start with 90 hertz as well going forward. But it'll be interesting to see.
App Lab can be the lower one though, so you
No,
do still get lower. Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. Perfect. Back to you. Throw me a date and throw me an update.
By the way, Airlink came out of experimental July 11th, 2022, I believe.
Wow, nice. So a whole year of it being an experimental.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take us to a happy time, a Christmassy time, but not the normal Christmas, the one that happened in summer, because app gifting came to us August 23rd of 2021. And I have given a lot of gifts of the app.
Still can't gift bundles. Am I correct?
No. You're correct. Or DLC or MetaQuest Plus or whatever that's called. Meta Plus.
The subscription. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. I actually had this one as well on my list, and I also put in the Oculus Move because that had like goals and sharing stats and such, and became a bit more useful. It did. Oculus Move was added a bit earlier, but it did get a bit more useful, and there is some more Move updates later on, which you use.
It was number 32.
Yes,
version,
this was V32. Amazing. August 23rd. Wow. November 29th, 2021 rings a big bell in my head.
Back up.
Oh,
They're in the clouds.
Yes, this is massive. So V35, we finally got cloud backup support, which was so annoying for me because literally a week before this, I had completely wiped my Quest 2 in order to get Medal of Honor to fit on it.
Did.
Because it wouldn't like it had deleted everything and it still wouldn't let it put it in because of like cache memory or something. So I had to factory reset. So I lost all the biggest one. My problem was Walkabout is because I lost all the balls that I found and all the putters, which was pretty much every single one at that point, give or take. And I've never since that day gone back and got all those balls and putters from those
Really?
Yeah, I've just not bothered. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at my Walkabout screen, you'll be disappointed in the amount of balls. Like, there's a lot of balls there. Don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of putters, but it ain't your collection, or ain't Dave's collection, or ain't any one of our other followers' collection. Just because since that day, it's not like I refuse. I just never gone back to.
You got to get one of your roommates to play in the PS4 version, and then do it with them, so that way you're getting them at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I got all of those balls and golf clubs when I was playing with my uncle, so it was fun to do. But I don't really do the fox hunts or such on my own. Like, I do it with somebody,
or just do them when you're just playing casually.
Yeah. I've never gone back, but cloud backups is massive. It's so big, especially if it works. Non VR related, I just brought back my Switch, which I was under my bed and factory reset, and it said, "Oh, you got all these cloud saves," and I was like, "Great, I can download all my saves back in," and it just all corrupted, and I was like, "Okay, it didn't work. Never mind." So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I've not factory resetted my Quest, but this is going to be so useful for Quest 3 when I download the apps again and cloud again. So that's going to be great. I also noted for V35 in November 2021 that you could also now do casting with mixed reality on the app on the phone. I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty though.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think many people use this in the end, but it looked cool when they first announced it. But anyway,
it's cool to take a picture. It's kind of how, like, there's some app you can use. Maybe it was Snapchat. I don't remember, where you can take a picture with the front and the back camera at the same time. It's kind of like doing that.
Nice. All right, back to you.
Back to me. Well, I didn't think that this was important to me, but it was pretty big. The Meta account, August 8th of 2022, which was just about version 43.
43. Yeah, I mean, that
For
was a
those
big.
counting.
I had a couple more before that, but yeah, definitely August 8th, 2022. Um, that was huge. People were like, finally, when you got the Quest 2, there was a big problem, or a big problem to a lot of people, how you had to have a Facebook account to use it. And almost a year later, they finally removed that. You just need a Meta account. Like last time, you only needed an Oculus account. Um, which was massive to me because I think for me personally, I mean, I still have Facebook because I use Messenger for the odd three people, including yourself, Samson, which is odd because I also message you through Discord and normal iMessage and
Yeah.
Instagram. So it's like, why? I think I message you the most is through
Mhm.
Messenger. So I'm like, what are we doing here? Um, Facebook is still really useful, like a Facebook marketplace and such. So for me, it doesn't really bother me that I had to link them Facebook, but it did to a lot of people. So this was pretty big for them for sure. Whether or not at that time people who wouldn't use Facebook probably don't trust Facebook and therefore wouldn't even bother with a Meta account, but still, it was quite big, and it's going to be important once again for the Quest 3 that you won't need to do this because this
It
was a bit
was
of a problem for Quest 2.
it was basically bringing back the Oculus account.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, I
All
had
right,
a
take us back in time. Take us back.
yeah. Let me take you back because I had a couple that I wanted to share.
Beep! We went a little too far.
Well, three I really wanted to share. I'll be quick though. V39, April 11th, 2022. We got a massive improvement to hand tracking. I don't remember if this was 2.0. I think it was, but I can't remember, so don't quote me on that. But it was massive. It was a big leap in hand tracking. It
No,
made
no way it was 2.0.
no, not from
That was
then.
this year.
That was this year, right? Yeah, not from then. I think so. I don't know, honestly. It's been a year, but I didn't see anything about 2.0 in the other updates, but you can find that out. But it was a massive update for hand tracking, which was pretty pants before. It was like, for any games and
It,
such.
it was January. It was written about in The Verge in January 2023.
Okay, so it came a few bit later because 2.0 was another big leap. So they've been improving the hand tracking a lot, which is really good. And as I said at the start of the show with the um, V56, which we'll get on to, is that the hand tracking is really, really good and it's so ready for Quest 3. I'm very excited. Um, okay, so V41, which was June 14th, 2022, we got one of my favorite features, Meta Horizon Home Hangout. So now you can invite your friends to hang out in your home, speak to them with spatial
What
audio.
friends?
Speak to them with spatial audio, and you can hop into multiplayer together, watch Oculus TV together. I mean, the Oculus TV is kind of redundant because big screen is like far superior to watch that, but there's an option there, right? Oculus TV, you can download a movie and put it onto your Quest and share that. I think that would work. I'm actually now questioning myself if this just means streaming for Oculus TV, but with big screen, you'll need a PC to do that, for example.
Right.
But this favorite thing was I was saying this for ages, and to be honest, I completely missed this update. It wasn't until later in the year that I realized it was a thing because I was like, why isn't there just a hub that I can just invite my friends and then we can just hop into a game? And then I remember doing it, and I was like, oh, it came out a few months ago. I just completely missed it.
You got it.
So that's pretty big. And then the final one before I throw it back to you, V42, July 11th, 2022, Move 2.0, which was big for you, I would say. You can now sync to your Apple Watch if you had
It
one.
took me a while to get that one. I remember being very frustrated.
Yeah, you can sync to your Apple Health. You can now get achievements and move trends, which is nice. So you can compare your move work from the week before or such, which was really nice. So that was a big update if you wanted either into fitness and move, syncing it to Apple Health and then I think later Android came or before Android came. I can't remember exactly, but now Android can do the same thing, which is great. Back to you.
It's all right. All right. I'm going to take you just a little bit further into the future. Exactly 5 weeks to September 19th, 2022, when the advanced creator settings dropped. Now this might not have been very big for the layman. This is big for the creator, where you could change your image stabilization, your aspect ratio, your frame rate. Woof. Woo!
Yeah, it was actually I didn't write this down because it wasn't really for the layman, as you mentioned. But yeah, it was nice because most people who use PC could obviously record the quest footage in 16:9 through SideQuest and such like that. And it was absolutely fine. But people who didn't have a PC, like me, for example, couldn't and could only get it in a 4:3 kind of frame.
It was weird.
It was a bit of a weird frame, but I actually still don't mind it, to be honest, because in a VR thing, normally you have your person on the right and the game on the left. Like, it's not perfect, but I personally didn't really mind it. I know a lot of creators still hate this feature. They don't think it's really well done. There's lots of issues with it, and it's much better in the actual PC. But you know, it's what can you do? It's the best that the Quest 2 can do. Any other thoughts on that?
Just do the best I can, man.
Just do the best I can. V46 was a big one because it wasn't a big one. I wrote this down because I had no idea that this happened. So V46, October 6th.
Oh, this is a great one. I was wondering why you wrote this one down.
Yeah, I had no idea. So Kazad Dum, I completely butchered that name. Home Environment was released, which was a limited availability. It was basically the update was October 6th, and you could get it before October 10th, which was interesting.
But
but
you can't get it now?
No, you can't get it. So the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Home Environment, which is what it is, was limited availability. You cannot download it now, unless they
I can still use it. I can still use it.
Yeah, you can probably still use it, but you can't download it anymore, which is weird. Unless there's something I'm missing, because it did say limited in the update. And the reason why I put it down is because I had no idea that this actually came out, and I'm gutted I didn't have it. But is it nice? Can you remember it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's incredible.
You're just pulling my leg right now, aren't you?
Oh, I'll go ahead and I'll record some content in it. I think BMF did.
Fair enough. All right, back to you. What else you got?
February. That is before your next one. All right, yep. February 21st, 2023. Direct Touch experimental feature comes out. And I'm not sure. I think it might still be an experimental feature. I love Direct Touch. It's where you touch the menus.
Oh, right. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing that was coming out. It came out and such.
It's the best.
Took it for granted. What was I going to say? Is that different to the 2D app multi-touch and such, where you can like touch the browser and like pinch your fingers?
It's similar. It's similar. It's not dissimilar.
But it's not the same. Okay, fair enough. Because I think that came out even more recently. But
yeah.
Fair enough. The next one I just wanted to mention because it was pretty big for the Quest Pro. V53, April 27th, 2023. Wi-Fi 6E support came for the Quest Pro. And the reason why this was kind of not monumental, but like kind of a big deal is because the Quest Pro came out with Wi-Fi problems galore. Like they had lots of Wi-Fi issues and they eventually patched it. I think around Christmas time, as memory serves me correctly. But it wasn't great. And for a $1,500 headset at the time, it was not a good look, but they got Wi-Fi 6E support, which actually just got confirmed for the Quest 3 as well in a, what was it called? FCC approval.
It was.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
That the Quest 3 will have Wi-Fi 6.
Federal Trade Commission, FTC.
Yeah. So if you have that type of what do you call it, router or router, wherever you are and however you say it, then you'll have Wi-Fi 6E support, which was
router. I hardly even know her.
Anything else from you? He's looking.
Well, the other thing I wrote was I didn't even know this was never a thing, and that's recording audio with the headset mic became a thing very early on.
Yeah, this was I can't remember which update that was on, but I don't know if many people use it, but it is good for like any quick reels or such. Because the microphone on the Quest Pro is pretty decent. It's not amazing, but it's not crap either. It's like the speakers. The speakers for the Quest 2, I don't think are awful. I think they're fine. You know, if you
Yeah,
want to watch a movie or something, definitely put the headphones on or something. But they're still like decent
I
enough.
I
For me.
usually go stock audio because it's hard for me to get headphones around the Halo strap or
Oh
on
yeah.
these.
You've got the. Is that the Bobo Halo strap?
Uh, I forget, but it's not. It's the Model One with the top strap instead of
The side.
this. There's one that had like things that came in on the sides,
Hmm.
on the top.
Okay, so fair enough with the Halo straps. It's a bit painful to put the headsets on. I guess unless you get in-ear headphones, that might be the other way.
Yeah, I've
Um,
got some earbuds, but they were irritating my ears.
yeah, so that's the thing. So that's fair enough. Perfect. Did you have anything else before I get into the two latest updates because they are pretty big?
Now take us away.
All right, so V55, June 21st, 2023, last month. Obviously, we spoke about it a couple months ago. The Quest performance upgrade, you had 26% increase in the CPU for the Quest Pro and 2. You had 19% GPU increase for the Quest 2 and 11% GPU increase for the Quest Pro. Note, I don't know about the Quest Pro, but I think the Quest 3 was meant to be almost 3 times more than the Quest 2. I don't know. I can't remember the actual quote on top of my head. But this
And it
is
might have been before the GPU increase.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the great thing about this is not for now, is just for prolonging the longevity of the Quest 2. Because a lot of people aren't going to upgrade, and I don't blame you because it's a bloody expensive headset when I priced it
No,
up.
you're all losers.
It's expensive. The Quest 2 the Quest 3 is going to be very expensive, especially for higher tier models. So I'm glad the Quest 2 is going to be still.
No, the Quest 2 will get you by for sure for quite some time.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
said, I really am looking forward to mixed reality and the form factor.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I just hope they do a better redesign. In that update, they also redesigned the Explore tab, and I still don't like. Just don't like
Yeah,
their
the
design.
UI changes like every 5 months.
I hope they actually, you know how like actually I don't know if you do know, but like for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4,
Of course, I know.
PlayStation 5, they change the UI every single time. You know, the fundamentals are
It's a
the
new
same.
system.
Yeah, exactly. But for the Quest and Quest 2 and Quest Pro, the UI was exactly the same, which it makes a little bit more sense, but
But it changes all. It also changes.
it also changes.
It,
But I hope the Quest 3 comes with a drastic change. I don't want the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 to have the exact same layout on launch. Like they can't, obviously the Quest 2 can
no, but
update,
see,
but
it's
I'd
more
love
like
them.
your iPhone. Your iPhone has the same.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just like how PlayStation changes the UI. It just makes it feel more fresh and such.
They
And
could time it with that, but then it's just going to change again, and it's going to
yeah,
be the same for both.
but it needs to be like a monumental change, right? Like it just keeps changing, but it's still the same, and it's still frustrating.
It's the same, but different.
Exactly. Like add folder support, for example, into there. Add better Oculus TV finding settings. You know, like there's so much that they could do with the UI. We could spend a whole episode going through what we'd want on the UI, but we won't get into here. And the final
Yeah.
thing,
Like, let me put a TV in my home, and then when I go to it, that's on Oculus TV.
hmm last one was the latest update, which you haven't got yet. So unfortunately for you, you cannot. I'm kidding. You've got the controller button remapping, which I love because I think all modern day controllers and such should have the ability for you to customize them completely. Auto power headset to update, like I said earlier at the top of the show, this is working, and I'm so grateful for it. We had issues earlier this year where you'd go into your Quest, you haven't put it on for like a few days or a few weeks or something like that, and all your apps need to update, and you're like, okay, I can't do anything until this updates, and you'll never pick it up again for a while. This is so much better. I'm so glad this has it, and I hope it is in Quest 3 at launch as well. And then this is hand tracking 2.2, which is substantial. And the reason why we keep mentioning hand tracking through these updates is because if it wasn't for all of these updates, the controllers for Quest 3 wouldn't be ringless, and we wouldn't be able to have that kind of technology for the Quest 3. And it makes a massive difference, and it makes a big difference for mixed reality as well, and maybe some other fitness apps and such. There's loads of stuff that we can do in it, and I spoke about that on last week's episode.
It's the future, man.
It is. This is. I can't wait to see what hand tracking 2.2 is going to be, and also next year, you've got the hand tracking of the Apple's headset, so we can see how good that is, or at least read about it, because it's exciting.
Yeah, go to the Apple store.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. I'm just looking down at the list right now, and I think my favorite update was none of the updates that we mentioned. I think my favorite update was the bug fixes. I'm not gonna lie, I think that was my favorite update. The amount
you do hate spiders.
I do hate spiders, and especially if they're all in my quest. The amount of bug fixes that Meta have done are very good. I'm very glad that they're a company that keeps on updating and keeps on addressing problems quickly as possible. Keep trying to fix, because if that, Lord knows, going through the whole 97 episodes of our podcast, the Quest 2 have had some issues, and some very frustrating issues, and especially around where the Quest Pro was released to. And they've just gone in and they've tried to fix, and it's still not perfect, but it's getting better, which I'm very excited about. Is there anything that sticks out for you that you want to say is one of your favorite updates out of all of that?
I feel like I mentioned them. Anything I mentioned was worth mentioning.
Fair enough.
I assure you, I don't talk about things not worth mentioning.
All right, that will do for part 2. That was our topic. Let us know in the comments or in the Discord if there's anything that you enjoyed that Meta have put out, or anything that frustrated you. Was there any updates that you wish would have came by now for the whole of Quest 2's 3-year life cycle and just never came, or hopefully it comes in the Quest 3? So let us know in the comments, let us know in the Discord. And that will do for part 2. In part 3, we'll go through any games out this week and anything else. So you'll see you then. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show. All right, welcome back to part 3, games out this week or anything else. Now, there's no games out this week, Samson. So what do we do?
What to do?
What can I pick up? What? There's nothing. There's a lot of sales going on on the Quest store right now.
I just bought a game during this podcast, so I'm not gonna lie, Dan.
During this podcast, what
during
did you
this
buy?
podcast? Iron Guard.
Iron Guard? What is Iron Guard? Tell the viewers and listeners what Iron Guard is.
I don't know much about it. It's a tower defense game. I had $5 store credit, and it's 43% off. So it was $4.07. And
yeah, I love how 97 episodes in, you've not changed your ways. I think from episode 1 onwards, you've been buying games on podcast. Sometimes buying hardware on podcast, or getting close to as well. Did you buy the Walkabout mini golf putter?
Yeah. It hasn't come.
No, it's not even. I don't think they've shipped anything yet. Some creators have it, but they're still on pre-order. But fair enough. All right, so no games out this week. Like I said, I Expect You to Die will be coming out the week after. For me, playing games for the next week, I'm excited to continue playing more Compound, seeing if I can get through it. I actually don't know how long this game.
Dan, get into Hubris again, would you?
I told you, the problem with Hubris is that it's on my PSVR 2 and it's too hot to play VR.
Just finish it.
It's too hot. I'm going to have to wait until October to play that game now. It's done. It's done. It's frustrating. For the audio listeners, Samson is very frustrated right now. Anything else? I bought a book, as you can see. I bought Ready Player One. It was 11.99 Canadian, as you can see on the front there. I've not watched or read Ready Player One, and our poster, which is you can't really see
Based
behind
on
me,
it.
is based on it, and obviously it's about VR. And actually, I remember like watching a little bit of the movie, but didn't really get
Wait,
into it.
didn't
But
we watch it in big screen?
yeah, we did, but
The
I didn't.
podcast people.
I wasn't there.
The figurative way.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I don't know when. It must have been like a couple summers ago or something. But I wasn't there, unfortunately. But
I'll tell you, I was there and Dave was there, and I'm pretty certain Kim was there.
yeah,
Anybody else was there? Probably Jenna. I don't remember anybody else. So,
yeah. I actually just noticed that this
oh,
is a UK
dog.
copy. On the back of my copy, it says £7.99 in pounds, but on the front,
All
it's
right, mate.
Canadian dollars. How fun! That's kind of funny. Um, have you
I
read both of
mean,
them? I think you've read both of them, right?
no, dude. I started. I think I started the audiobook, and I struggle with getting into fiction. I did watch the movie though in big screen with the LTO people.
Yeah, I'm obviously there's Ready Player Two as well, so you've got the
I heard
second.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fair enough. Okay. But I'll read the first book, see if I like it, and then I'll look at some reviews for the second one. It's nice.
I've just told you them.
Well, I
I
want
assure you.
to. You've
No,
heard it's Trevor.
you don't need to do anything. If you really wanted though, you could read it. Like it's just their opinion, man. But their opinion, the opinions out there, they're not
I mean,
good.
it's good to know that it's people say it's not very good because at least then I'll just wait if it's a sale. Like right now, that's like still at full price. I think it came out like within the last year or two, right? It was like fairly recent, that one.
I think so.
Yeah, of that one. So we'll come back to that. But I'm excited to actually that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go down to the park. I want to start reading.
Dan,
Go on.
Dan, I'm
Go
going
on.
to talk about a little hypothesis I got here. All right, this is for the little viewers who really push. Really, they've made it through all of that. We talked about Sony updates. They're still out there. They're still out there. They listened to part 3. All right, my hypothesis. So Walkabout, they just did a talk about with some Moss developers. I think there's going to be a Moss course sometime in the next 18 to 24 months.
That's a big prediction. That'd be wicked. Moss is one of the most beloved games in the meta systems. So that'd be wicked. And you get yourself a nice little putter with maybe Quill figure on the putter, maybe. Or like Quill running up the putter, like wrapped around. That would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There you go. You
yeah.
heard it here first. When it happens, we can quote it now.
Yeah, we can code it
Here.
now. Perfect. I think that's everything. I think in flat screen gaming, I've been playing. I've got my Switch back open. I've got me
Switchback.
N64 controller up here, and I've been playing some Ocarina of Time because I've never finished that
Very
game,
nice.
and
Nice.
I've just been playing that at night, and it's been really fun. Still holds up to this day. Like there's some annoyance, but when you play with the N64 controller, it still feels fine. And
Dan, I've heard that the 3DS version is the definitive
it
version of
is.
that game.
It is. That's the one that I played and almost finished it, but never. I think I probably got to the. I can't remember which temple it is. It might be the water temple, but it's when you face like a shadow link, like a version of yourself. That's remember how far I got up to last time. But I had that on 3DS and it was phenomenal. It was so good. It looks really good, and the 3D. I kept the 3D on all the time because it was so
The
cool.
3D used to give me a headache.
So in the 3DS, and then I had the new 3DS where it has cameras on the front and tracks your eyes, so it makes sure the 3D is correct no matter which angle you're looking at, which made a massive difference. And when Link pulls out something from the chest, so say he picks up like a shield, and it goes da 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 and all that, the shield in 3D and such, and these items in 3D that really pop out the screen is really fun. So I used to play in 3D all the time. Sometimes I turned it off, but like most of the time I'd put on 3D, especially with all the big bits that go 3D straight up to the top. And I actually was looking for 3DSs because I was like, I actually want to just play it.
Get one.
It's so
I have one.
so expensive. They're like
Really?
they're like 200 US at the moment, 250 US, like to buy it. Like the market because you can like hack it and such. Like it's very difficult, and it's also the definitive a way to play Majora's Mask because they fixed a lot of. I never played Majora's Mask because I never finished Ocarina, but it's the definitive way because they fixed a lot of issues in the original version on the 3DS. So that is the best way to
Gotcha.
play it, but they don't want to remaster them for Switch, which is weird.
No, Switch 2.
You know what's weird as well? Just another random thing for any of the two listeners who are currently listening. They just put out Red Dead Redemption for the Switch, which is random. Just out of
Yeah.
nowhere, just poured it.
For like $50, so
I know, just like random. No remaster, nothing. Like just like found it in the locker and put it out there, and was like,
wait,
yeah.
is it already out? I thought it just got announced.
Next week, next week, yeah, next week. What did you play? Any flat screen games you want to talk about before we
Yeah,
wrap up?
yeah. I got into a little Baldur's Gate, Dan. I did it.
Mm. Now I heard a lot of hype on our Discord chat about Baldur's Gate. What even is Baldur's Gate? Because I don't have a clue. I'm not lying.
It's a CRPG, a computer RPG game. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons world, you know?
Right.
I've never played a Baldur's Gate before, nor do I play D&D. But I do like an adventure, and I'm hoping to convince one of my friends to play with me.
This is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. And I'm really bad. The first enemy encounter, Dan, I died. And you guys just load from the last save point.
Fair enough. I see. I'm looking at the screenshots and I can see it looks like a Diablo game, but it probably nowhere near like that. But it's that kind of same aspect.
It's turn-based combat too.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I know it's beloved. I just didn't have a clue what the actual game was about. I just saw you guys talk about it in there, and I was like, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to get involved. But have you ever? You said you never played D&D in.
I mean, I played it once. I don't have the imagination for it. I'll play it in a video game though. I don't have to imagine it. It's in front of me.
Yeah, it is in front of you. I've never played it. I've been invited before, and the time commitment of like every Thursday for the next 12 weeks was too much to commit to me. I can't even commit to the gym, let alone a board game for 4 hours every night. So, so it wasn't for me. But anyway, awesome. Any other practicing games before we sign off? Or
Negative. I did buy American Truck Simulator. It was on sale for $5.
Nice.
And apparently you can get it to run in VR. I tried and failed, so I gotta figure that out.
Yeah. Fair enough. I hope you wear your full like trucking gear whilst you
Yeehaw!
whilst you get in the simulator. All right, I'll do for the podcast. I'm gonna go read this Ready Player One now. So thanks to all who are listening. Thanks to all that are watching on the YouTube. Remember to comment on anything that you want to, and we will get to it in the next show, or comment right there and then. Mark your calendars for October 20th when we do our live stream, like I said, at some point that day, but I'll announce that closer to the time for episode 100, and get your questions in for episode 100 as well. That is all from me. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. Samson, take it away.
Ryan Brandon, you got to get good at Hyperdash. See you next time on Let's Talkulus.